morning. How art thou, King?
I am great. Welcome to the Miracle Podcast. So,
Thank you for having me, man. It's a pleasure. It's an honor.
oh man, no problem, no problem. Great to have you. Wanted to reach out to my brother, have you on the show. You're doing a lot of big things and been doing big things for as long as I've known you. Um, I know you've now started branching into some acting, and there's been a lot of things going on in the SAG ACTRA industry with the strikes. If you don't mind, I would like for you to talk to us and tell us how that affected you, you know, with your projects and everything so far.
Yeah, it's definitely an unfortunate situation that so many of us are in. Me, myself, yes, as an actor, but more so as a creator who had a project that was on the table for negotiations. And as a result of the strike, it is now put back on hold. And so, as that project is on hold for myself, it's actually on hold for others who were being tapped in to be a part of that project as well.
Mhm.
So it's just sad that we are at this position and at the table to be having these discussions actually, which is really just about a fight for what we as artists and creators feel that we are worth, and wanting people to understand the value that we bring as it pertains to the entertainment industry. So my prayers is that they would come to a resolve rather quickly, um, and amicably, to where there's like no ill feelings or ill towards each other going forward.
Mhm.
Excuse me, that's my security system.
Oh, no problem, no problem.
But that's definitely my prayers, and I'm just hoping that there is a resolution very quickly, because people want to work, people want to get back to creating, people want to get back to displaying their talents, which for the most part that's a lot of people's livelihoods. And
Mhm.
now that that has been stopped, then they're not able to do the things that they normally would do, the things that they will love to do, and some for the most part can't take care of their families. So I'm just hoping that those that sit at the higher end of the hierarchy will really come to terms with that and understand what people are truly and really fighting for.
Okay. So for our viewers that don't know who Dr. Maurice Lee is, I know you as foundation owner, author, actor, doctor, singer. So tell our viewers who Dr. Lee is.
Oh man. Well, in addition to all that you stated, because it's interesting when people ask who I am or who am I never list those things. It's always things that I guess keep me more so rooted and grounded. So I am a family oriented guy. I come from a very huge family, and that's on both parts, my mom's part and my dad's part. I am an individual who loves God, and I am someone who loves to make friends. I love to interact with people. I love to feed off of people's energies. But I come from the dirt grounds and the humble grounds of Utahville, South Carolina. And I think it's there that my family, they instilled in me this deep richness for love and the true essence of what love is across the board, whether it be romantically or whether it's just from a friendship standpoint. My whole existence and being is to show love and to be love. And I I feel like my whole purpose for being here in life and on this planet is to be of service.
Okay. Okay. Um, so when I first met you,
Mhm.
I had to be 2014, 15,
2015.
2015.
2015.
And I was in South Carolina. at
Yes.
one of your galas and for your foundation.
Mhm.
Is the foundation still going on? Because I know you did a lot of big things where you were helping, kids go to college and providing a scholarship for them. Are you still doing that for the children? And is the
Yes.
foundation still going on?
Yes, the foundation is still alive.
Mhm.
However, we do not have the annual big event that
Okay.
we used to have, only because I'm here in LA now. And the individual that I had in charge of that, shortly right after I moved here, she passed away. And
Sorry.
so it was kind of hard for me to be able to do it the way that it was done previously, with me being here and then her no longer being here at all.
Mhm.
But I definitely, because it's not just about an event, it's
No.
about really helping the students.
Mhm.
So I wanted to make sure that that component was still alive.
Mhm.
So we just announced our most recent recipient, whose name is Trinity Higgins, and she will be attending Howard University.
Oh,
As a matter of
nice.
fact, yeah, as a matter of fact, just um, she just landed on campus, I would say.
Okay.
So she sent me some pictures of her dorm room and how she was setting things up. So I'm very proud of her and very excited to see what she's going to do as she contributes to society. So yeah, the Scholarship Foundation is still in existence, but I do believe we will have another big event for our 20th.
When will that be? Well, when is the 20th anniversary?
The 20th will be 2027.
2027. Okay.
2027. Yeah.
All right. All right. I will be there.
Yes.
I'll be there to support my brother, you know.
Thank you. Thank you.
Definitely, definitely. If God willing, we say that, God
Yes.
willing.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So you're also an author. Tell us a little bit about your book, because I know I tried to buy the book and the book was sold out. So congratulations on that. So
Thank you.
tell us about the book and
Thank
what
you.
what inspired you to write the book.
So the book is titled Life Experiences. And I was having a conversation with a young man one day, and he just said, "You know what? You should write a book." He said, "I'm sure there's so much about your life that you could share, and you should call it Life Experiences, right?" And so I thought about it because there were a lot of things that I dealt with in life that I never really talked about and I never really shared with anybody. And I started to think about what it would take to get to the other side of being healed, right?
Mhm.
So I decided to share some of the most deepest and darkest things that occurred in my life, because the idea and the objective was to show readers that we all go through things, right?
Mhm.
But it's really about how we can stay focused, how we can stay faithful and optimistic to come out on the other side. So I wrote the book, shared the book, didn't even realize how cathartic that process was, and released the book. The book became an award winning book.
Wow.
Grateful to everybody that supported it at the time. And a lot of feedback that I received from people was that they too had dealt with or were going through some of the things that I went through. And that book helped them. And it really put them on a path to becoming healed. Not saying that books will always be the healing source, but for some, I do believe words have a way of picking at the spirit.
Mhm.
And once that spirit begins to move, then there's action that's going to come on the other side of that.
I totally agree. Because me and you, whenever we can, we both have busy schedules, but I always reach out to you for
Yeah.
some advice or mentoring or I'm like, let me talk to my brother, talk to him and see, get some advice from him because those are some things that he's done, and you always give me great advice, great things to talk about.
Yes.
Sometimes we're so busy we don't even get a chance to reach out to each other, but there's times we'll just send a quick little text and be like, hey, how's it going? Everything good with you?
Yeah.
And you know, there was a tragedy that you had that I didn't even know about just because life is busy. So it
Hmm.
just always reaches to me to always, sometimes be like, let me take it only takes a few minutes to send a text. Let me find out if someone's on my mind, especially if someone's on my mind. Hey, how's it going? You okay? You good? Whatever. That only takes a few minutes. So that's something I'm working on myself to try and be better at. Um, do you ever think you'll turn your book into a movie, biograph, biography, anything like that?
Um, it's interesting that you asked that because the project that's on the table, a part of my book
Hmm.
plays into that.
Okay.
Yeah. So, um, then I guess the answer will be yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. That'll be a great thing. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm excited about it. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting concept. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. You also sing, right?
Yes.
Okay. Have you released any music?
That's the next goal.
Okay.
That's the next goal for me. I've been having a conversation with a young writer,
Hmm.
phenomenal artist out in Philly.
Okay.
Um, he's a writer, and there's a particular type of song that
Hmm.
I want to do. And so we've been kind of bouncing ideas off of each other. So that is one of my ultimate goals, to record a song.
Okay.
I'm not looking to record a full-fledged, CD album, or what do they call it now? EP.
EPs, something like that,
Yeah,
where it's like a few songs on there.
yeah. It's not my goal to do that, but I do want to record at least one, and it is a particular type of song. It's a, I guess, genre, so to speak, that I want to tap into.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it going to be, and let me know if I'm digging too much, which is going to be
No,
gospel based?
it will be about love.
Love. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Because I know your boy, you tight with, and you
Yeah.
be always hanging with. So that's why I had to ask, is it gospel based?
I get it. I get it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. He's a huge inspiration of mine. And it's interesting because, for most of my life, I
Mm-hmm.
grew up singing his songs, whether it was in pageant shows, talent shows, weddings,
Mm-hmm.
or just in church, period, So, um, yeah, but no, it's not gospel based, but it's going to be about love.
Okay. All right. All right. You heard it here first on the Miracle Podcast. So when
First,
you get it, you already know. So
first.
so tell us about some more things that you got going on that we can be on the lookout for.
So aside from the TV show project that I was kind of like mentioning about,
Mm-hmm.
I also have a short film script that we're going over now, going through um, rewrites for that. So that once the strike is over, I want to go ahead and put that into full motion. And then there have been some other individuals who came up with projects who have presented those to me as well, to come on board to be a producer, to help produce the project and get it to the masses. And there are some very interesting projects that people have presented to me. So I'm excited about that. So there are a couple of things that's on the table. Um, I think aside from that, that's where all of my energy has been going into,
Okay.
just being a creative force in this sector. and just trying to put out some good content for, for our people.
Okay. As multi-talented as you are in different, you know, areas that you've dived into, what would you say if is the thing that you're most passionate about and that you like the most?
I would have to say singing.
Really?
Yeah, because for me, music is a universal language, and I feel that music can evoke so many emotions,
Okay.
and the way how you can make a person feel through music has always been sort of something that I have always desired to do,
Hmm.
especially when you look at your greats like Donny Hathaway, who was a phenomenal singer, but it was more so his approach and his tone
Hmm.
of his songs that just it drew you in and it made you feel a certain way.
Hmm.
And I always wanted to embody that type of style when singing or that type of presence when singing. So I'm always singing. I'm singing day in, day out. I am going to hum. I can be hoarse, but I will belt out a tune or a note because I love to sing. I've been singing ever since I think maybe about 4 years old.
Hmm.
And I haven't stopped since. It's just that I haven't put out any music, but I've been singing basically my entire life.
Do you play any instruments?
I don't. And it's interesting that you ask that because my mother bought me a keyboard, a guitar, a drum set, and I did not master any of them. I
Do you
yeah,
regret it?
I do.
Yeah.
I
I
do.
hate
Because
that
they're
my co-host couldn't be on today, but we're gonna definitely have to have you back with him, Big Perry,
yeah,
on because Big Perry, on he's a gold winning artist. He has a gold record.
wow.
Uh, he's a multi-talented producer, songwriter, everything. So we're gonna have to probably get you guys to collab on some things. So and you'll get to meet Big Perry on and we'll definitely have you guys back, talk about some music projects.
Oh man, I would love that.
Yeah.
I would love that. Yeah, yeah. And the thing about me, I'm an eclectic when it comes to music. Like you're not just going to box me in with one particular style of, gospel, R&B, or rap. Like I love all types of music, but the instrumentation has to draw me in first.
And you
I'm
produce music?
I probably could.
Hmm.
I could.
Have you tried?
Um try.
Okay. But you don't think, especially with technology these days, do you think it's something that you might try and dive into, like produce your own album, or would you seek a producer to help with that?
I would probably seek a producer
Yeah.
because I'm not good with the mechanics.
Hmm.
I know I'm probably not good with the mechanics, but how I want the voice to sound or how I want something positioned, I'm good with that. I know how to place.
Okay.
But as far as the mechanics of things, no.
Hey, I would say you always can learn. And
Yeah,
once you learn, you know how you see or want certain things.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I could. I'm quite sure I could. Yeah.
Do you direct? I know you do the writing and stories and things. Have you done any directing?
I have not. I have not. I think maybe down the road eventually. Um, but it's I think it's my creative juices that are just overflowing right now. I have so many ideas and so many different concepts of things that I want to, produce. But I think as my feet become more cemented, in the industry, then I think the directing aspect will begin to tug at me. But as of right now, it's just more so about creating things because I can visually see a whole lot of things. Now, also, I can see the scenes as well. So, yeah, yeah.
Because a lot of times, like I remember, and I've worked on a lot of projects,
Hmm.
and I used to always just have people do the shooting or film it and different things. And I would more like, okay, let me let them do it. But I started doing it myself as far as doing the shooting and,
Yeah.
you know, editing and correcting the images. And I think I later got an eye for it. So I know a lot of times when you work on a particular project, you may see certain things that another person can't see. And I don't know, I see that in you that, I know you have a lot of talent, so I'm sure you have visions of how you would probably see a project that it probably couldn't come across to someone else.
Yeah. I'm a very meticulous person. I'm very, like I said, visual. I'm
Hmm.
very observant, and I see a lot of things. I've been a part of projects in which I could have been a part of, like the um, producing part, because there are things that I saw, and I'm saying, oh, like I wish we could have done it like this or like that,
Hmm.
right? Which probably would have made for a different outcome of a scene. So I definitely could see myself stepping into those shoes. But I'm just trying to take things one at a time, master one thing and then move on to the next.
Circling back to Philly,
Hmm.
uh, there's so many creative singers and great
Yeah.
artists that's come out of Philly.
Yes.
So when you record your album, would that be a place that you would want to record
Yeah.
or yeah, going to
Yeah.
Philly?
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's so many talent. You got Patty that came up from Philly, Hall and Oates, uh, the Roots.
Yeah.
It's just a
Yeah.
lot of talented people in
Yeah.
the Philadelphia area. We
Yeah.
hung out in Philly one time.
We did.
Yeah,
We did. Yep. As a
that was
matter of fact,
several years back.
yeah, as a matter of fact, when I was there at that time, I was talking to the writer at that time
Mhm.
about the project, and I went to his studio because he was in there recording. So yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that would be dope because there's a lot of so you can get those creative juices
right,
out of the soil of Philly to
yeah,
create that project. I'm looking forward to that. Definitely
yeah,
looking forward to
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So you're a doctor as well.
Hmm.
Talk to our viewers about how did that come about?
So back when I was a little boy, my first goal was to get into the industry. I wanted to be a singer,
Mhm.
and then I wanted to be an actor. But coming from South Carolina, right? Those those options were far and few in between. So I didn't really think that it was attainable as I grew older because there were no opportunities coming through. So then I was introduced to a TV show called The Cosby Show. And the character that Dr. Cosby, he is a doctor um, of education, I believe. Dr. Cosby introduced Dr. Heathcliff Huxtable,
Huxtable.
right?
Mhm.
He was an obstetrician, and I never knew what an obstetrician was. So that forced me to begin to do some research. And as I researched, I said in my mind, okay, I am going to become a doctor, right? So fast forward, graduate from high school, and I get into college. First year, I did exceptionally well. And then I pledged. I pledged Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Shout out to all of my fraternity brothers out there. And with that, I began to become just a little reckless in terms of partying and not paying attention in class. And the reason why I say not paying attention is because I was never one that really had to study. Everything that I got, I just got as I paid attention in class. And then I was able to go and take the test and bam, do fairly well. But my lack of attention in class caused my grade point average at the time to drop significantly. And so I had to fight and work real hard to bring it back up to an average that would allow medical schools to look at me. So my college, not counselor, but advisor, my advisor at the time took me under his wings, and then he introduced me to the world of pharmacy, in which I had the opportunity to do some shadowing at one of the pharmacies there and fell in love with it. And then I set my sights on becoming a pharmacist. And long story short, I was able to obtain my doctor of pharmacy degree and have been practicing for the past 23 years, 22
Ah,
years. Yeah,
wow.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
So I know a lot of youth look at the entertainment industry and everything and, want to get into that field. Is there a way that you would let them know to always have something to fall back on like you do with being a doctor? Because being black, we don't have a, I mean, I guess we do, but you don't hear about a lot of successful doctors. Everyone honors and, as the youth look at entertainers, athletes, things like that. But we do need more doctors and so many different fields of doctors.
It's interesting that you would ask that because, I see a lot of people saying, oh, well, you should never have a plan B because if you have a plan B, then that means that you're not looking for your plan A to work. Or if that's what you want to do, then that's what you do, and then don't make sight to do something else. Well, my thing is because I live off of the philosophy that in order for a man to be great, his reach must always exceed his grasp.
Wow.
So, in layman terms, once you've achieved something, you're holding on. But in order to be greater, you have to reach for something else.
Mhm.
So, it's always good to have something else
Mhm.
on the side that you could pick up and still make a great living with
Mhm.
in the event that what your plan A dissolves for whatever
Mhm.
reason.
Mhm.
So, if you want to get into entertainment, if you want to act, if you want to sing, all of that is great. But also have something else that you can rely on as well to
Mhm.
help offset when you
Mhm.
have those dormant moments in the industry because they will come,
Mhm.
but you have to have something else to help supplement that.
Mhm.
So, of course, people might, disagree with it, and that's fine, but you have to always do what works best for you.
Mhm.
It's your life, not anybody else's, because what works for somebody else may not necessarily work for you.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I think a lot of times, we don't give mature and sound advice to people. We give advice based off of our own experience, which is good at times, but you also have to look at things in totality.
Mhm.
And once you begin to look at things in totality and be able to analyze and extrapolate from that, I feel that's when you can offer the best advice to people. So that's what I would tell young people. Because I feel that if you want to act, if you want to sing, I feel those are gifts. And the Bible said our gifts will make room for us.
Mhm.
But what is our skill set?
Mhm.
Tap into a skill set and allow the skill set to hold your foundation, and then your passion and your gifts will make the room for you.
That's very true. Um, I look at people like Magic Johnson.
Hmm.
He's known as one of the greatest basketball players ever.
Yes.
These days, you know him for basketball, but he has so much other stuff going on business wise because he didn't just let put all his eggs in one basket, which is basically
Exactly.
what you're talking about.
Hmm.
Mhm. So
Exactly.
many other things he's done, and so many other projects, and just other
Yeah.
things that he has going on outside of knowing him for being a basketball player.
A basketball player, right? I look at people like Steve Harvey,
Hmm.
who started out as a stand-up
Comedian.
comedian,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And then he went on and became an actor,
Hmm.
right? And then from there, now he has his own radio show. So the
Radio.
man, he
Hmm.
just didn't
Books.
stop. He
Hmm.
kept reaching for something else. Game show host,
Hmm.
you know? So you look at those people as examples because they just didn't stay stuck in one lane.
Hmm.
The world has not designed us to stay stuck in one lane. The
Right.
way how things are positioned now, you have to have multiple streams of revenue, so to speak, coming through in order to be able to maintain a comfortable lifestyle,
Hmm. Look at 2020 when the pandemic happened.
right?
People couldn't go out and do a lot of stuff,
Right.
but people got creative and started performing from home, and verses was created and all other
Yes.
things were created. They didn't let it stop. So you have
Yes.
to be able to have that creative mindset to just not, oh, well, something happened. I'm just going to fall apart and roll over. You got to have other things going on,
You
you
got
know,
to. Yeah.
because anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Hmm.
Anything can happen. As a singer, you could lose your voice, right?
Hmm.
So what do you have? What do you have to fall back on from there?
Right.
You know? And I think that's how we should position ourselves. We should position ourselves for not just a plan A, not just a plan B, but a plan C and a D as well.
ED. Yep. Yep. Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, because we're selling ourselves short,
Hmm.
Yeah,
Well, we're running short of time, and I, enjoyed having you on the show.
I did
Um,
as well.
Tell everyone where they can find you. If there's anything else you want to leave for our viewers, and I definitely, would love to have you back. Like I said, definitely with Big Perry on to have you guys on to talk more about the music side. But tell everyone where they can find you, and the different projects they can also look for.
Definitely. And thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. It's an honor. It's an honor and a pleasure. They can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at DrMalee, Dr. Malee. And they can find me on Facebook under Dr. Maurice A. Lee or Maurice A. Lee. And yeah, some of the projects, of course, there's a TV drama series that I created. So once the strike is over, we're putting that back in full motion. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about that component because I really think it's going to entertain a lot of people. Um, and one thing that I would say to your viewers, as cliche, I can't say cliche, but it is a
Cliche. cliche.
cliche. what I what I would say is never give up and never give in.
There we have it. Dr. Lee, follow this man. He's great. A lot of inspiration, a lot of wisdom. Thank you again, my brother, for being on the
Thank
show.
you. My pleasure.
Look forward to we hadn't hung out in a while. Got to get together in
I know.
whatever city we gonna be in. We've been in several cities and hung out. So
I
I
know.
got to get to my hometown of LA and hang out with you again. I missed you. I think the last time I was out there. So
Yeah. Yeah.
we'll definitely do that. And
Yeah, yeah, we have to because there's always a great pouring into each other. It's not, sometimes you can walk away from some relationships and it's like friendships and it's like, okay, I'm not getting anything. You know what I mean? It's like we can talk about things, we can talk about, some of life's challenges, but then we can walk away feeling more inspired and feeling more empowered to do greater, and that's what I can appreciate about the friendship and the bond that we have. So I thank you for that.
I greatly appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again for being on the show. Enjoy the rest of your day. And
All right, too.
you know, we'll keep you posted on when this will be out.
Sounds good. I'll be looking forward to it.
All right. Thanks, Dr. Lee. Thanks for
All right.
being on the
Salute.
show. All right.
Definitely.
Appreciate it.